family of the victims and the one who lost so many loved ones and all those innocent people who had died on 9/11. And I felt as they could at last have a sense of justice.
I mean, you're one of the few people in the world to have the name Bin Laden. Many other family members have renounced their name. Why did you keep the name, and how difficult has it been for you to be a Bin Laden?
Well, I am not aware that any of the family has renounced their name, but I realized very early on for myself and my daughter, especially for my daughter, that there were no escape from that name. And as I said earlier, you know, our heart and our values are very Western, but it has been quite difficult to carry that name, and changing it, people would just say, oh, well, you know, they were Bin Laden, they changed their name. I thought it would be much better to explain where we stand, where our true feelings and our values are, and I was sure that the American people would understand our situation, which they did, and I am really grateful for all their support. Despite all of their suffering, they have been very supportive of my daughter and I will always be grateful for that.
You met Osama Bin Laden several times. What was your memory of him? What kind of man was he when you met him?
Very religious man. He was always very religious. And when I was living in Saudi Arabia, he had started going to Afghanistan against the Soviets. I knew he was very religious, but at that time in the early 80s, I never thought that he would come and take so many lives, innocent lives.
I mean, in relation to the other members of the Bin Laden family, how close have they remained to your knowledge? Do you think that they would be in mourning today, or will there be members who are happy that he's now dead?
My understanding of the Saudi society is that I'm sure they are mourning, and because for them it's their brother, and it's my perception, and I am sure of that it must be a difficult time for them, and they consider him as a brother.
Who do you think was...
Osama has his son who lives in Saudi Arabia. Some of them, they work with their uncle and their cousins, and his mother is there, and you know, the wife of the late Mohammed Bin Laden. They are very close-knit emotionally together.
But who do you think may have been helping him financially over the last few years? Because clearly somebody was.
Well, I think that my understanding of the Saudi law, you cannot disinherit a person who is a good Muslim, and I have never heard anybody from the Saudi say that he was not a good Muslim.
I mean, knowing the family as you did a few years ago, what is the general feeling amongst the rest of the Bin Ladens about why Osama went the way that he did?
Well, I think after 9/11 they realized the harm he had done, and they had to distance themselves from him. But I think my analysis of the Saudi society is that blood is thicker than anything, and I am sure they still consider him as part of the family and a part of the Bin Ladens.
Carmen Bin Laden, thank you very much for your time. I'm sure it's a difficult day for you and indeed for his family. We'll never really know the answers.
I am really grateful. No, I am really grateful to be able to share this moment with the American people, and it's a relief to be able to know that they will have an opportunity to at least have some kind of closure. And my heart goes to America and my daughter, as it has been for the last 10 years, and I thank you for giving me this opportunity to share this moment with you.
No, well, thank you
And
for saying.
America.
Thank you for saying what you just said. I appreciate it. When we come back, a Bush administration insider who was at the president's side as the war on terror began.